It's DEW Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, and good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this DEW Time with Pastor Steph. Shantice, I need a heads up to let me know that you're hearing me. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't know if my audio is working. Oh, she says yes. All right. Oh, we're having some major difficulties over here this morning. But guess what? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I don't even have time to do the recap of the week, but I want to say thank God that it is Freestyle Friday. Oh my goodness. You remember the TGIF? Thank God it's Friday. Yes, we have made it safely through another week. And I thank you so much for joining us this morning and being patient through all of the technical difficulties. But let's get this started. Party started. Go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody that it's DEW Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
It's important to have therapy and to have God. Those three things and a great sense of humor, those three things have gotten me through. As a black man, you have to take care of your mental health. Because I got there. I seen myself tossing myself off of a building. That happened to me twice. Because everything was hitting me at one time, and so much pain. When my mama died and my daddy died and then my daughter transitioning, at that point, there was just so much devastation happening that I just felt like I can't take it. And that's when I called my therapist. And God is so real. And everybody needs the wind of God to really get to where you're going. And if you don't, humble yourself and just know that there's a higher power that one day you will lose yourself. You ain't found God until you heard, never would have made it. And you crying in the car. And you crying in the car with the snot bubble in your nose, shaking, going, yes, I never would have made it without God.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, and it is Freestyle Friday. Oh, thanking God that we have made it to the end of the week. It's time for check-in, y'all. So if you're in the room, please let me know you're in the room and I can say good morning to you. Let's say good morning to our girl, Lady Tamika. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got to check in from our girl, Ketty. Hey, Ketty. Both Ketty and Tamika say great PSA. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. We must say good morning to the ladies that hold it down each and every day. Let's say good morning to our girl, Shantice. Hey, Shantice. And let's say good morning to our girl, Anika. Good morning. Anika says she loves that PSA as well. All righty. Well, we got our celebrity day here. And we got a couple things to talk about. So, our trivia for this morning. And I thought this would be kind of fun. So, Brandy has been called upon to do the theme song for A Different World reboot. Yes. So she's been in the studio working on the soundtrack and on the theme song. And I'm interested to hearing what they came up with, because if you remember, the Different World theme graduated. There was some gradation to it. So it was actually written by Dawn Lewis, the one who played Jaleesa. And they started off, with that little country backward sound, and that was because they were probably down in Virginia or wherever Spelman was supposed to be. And it gradated. It became a little more modern, and Aretha Franklin had her hand in it for a while, and then there was another version of it, and then when they finally ended, Boys to Men actually sang the theme song. But even though it took a little shift, it did not lose the original essence of the song. So now I'm interested in what they're coming up with, who wrote it, all that kind of good stuff. So I found a couple of weeks ago, I found a trivia of the best theme songs that have ever been written for our shows. So I'm going to be singing a little bit this morning, and I'm going to see if you can catch it. All righty. I'm not going to be able to go back and forth to see, literally see, but number one. Oh, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute and sit right there. I'll tell you how you became a prince of a town called Bel Air. All right, yes, the Prince of Bel Air is number one on the list. Good times, anytime you need a payment. Good times. Yeah, Good Times is number two. Now, number one, it was written by Bel Air was performed by Jazzy Jeff, DJ. Why am I so tongue-tied this morning? DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, which is Will Smith. And nobody bypassed that theme song. And then definitely, now that was, they're giving us years here. So from 1990 to 1996, we had the Fresh Prince of Bel Air theme song. Now, From 1974 to 1979, we had Good Times, and that was actually performed by Jim Gilstrap and Blinky Williams. And they never changed the theme song. Nope, it was always the same. The only thing that changed were the clips in the back, but other than that, it was the same. So from 1975 to 1985, fish don't fry in the kitchen, the beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. Yes, the Jeffersons. That was performed by Jeanette Dubois, we know as Walona from Good Times, and Jeff Barry. Now that's another theme song that in all the 10 years, they never changed. Just the clips in the back. All right. We have from 1987 to 1993. I know my parents love me. Stand behind me, come what may. Yeah, A Different World sits at number 4. Now that was, again, I talked about the different versions of that same theme song, and I believe the first one who did it was Phoebe Snow. And like I said, then we had Aretha. We then moved on, and they ended with Boyz II Men. All righty. Now, from 1971 to 2006, listen, straight old school. Soul Train, that's right. Now, this was performed by TSOP, the Sounds of Philadelphia. And I didn't realize that the women who were singing in the background, Soul Train, Soul Train, with the 3 Degrees. Yep, I know I'm dating myself, but 3 Degrees. Yes, from the old school. All right. 1972 to 1977. Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son theme song was written and produced, and I guess behind the scenes, Quincy Jones. And it's technically called The Street Beater. And you know, Damon Wilson just passed away at the top of this year. Yeah, I think he was he in his 80s? I don't know. All right. 1992 through 1997. And we did have a couple of versions of this theme song. Martin, yeah. The Martin Lawrence, yeah. The Martin theme song. And again, they're saying the same thing. Various versions of that theme song. All righty. Ooh, from 1993 to 1998. Oh my goodness. I had the song in my head before I started saying the dates. Oh my goodness. I wanted to sing this one. It came right to my head once I saw it, because I didn't even consider this particular show. Check it out. That's how it starts. But we are living a single. Yes, by Queen Latifah herself. The theme to Living Single. Yes. All righty. 2001 to 2005, the Proud Family. Yes, that was initially sung by Solange featuring Destiny's Child. Okay. Oh, 1990 to 1994, we had a couple of different versions of this theme song. I talked myself right out of the theme songs, okay? You can do what you wanna do in living color. Yes, they had a couple, yeah. But Remember, the biggest and the best one was Heavy D and the Boys performed that one. Alrighty. And we have from 1996 to 2001, we've got, I can't think of the theme song at all. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it ain't coming nowhere near my brain. Moesha, the theme from Moesha, and that was sung by Brandy herself. Alrighty. It's so this day and age to be on the good news. The food vapor pays. That sounds like when people are singing the theme from Bad Boys. Oh, Family Matters. Yes. Now, if you did the TGIF back in the day, there was another theme song that sounded almost exactly like this Family Matters theme song. It was performed by Jesse Frederick. He did both songs, and it sounded very, very, very similar. And it was probably written and produced by the same people because it was the same network. So they were just going through the songs. All right. Okay. 2000 to 2008. My girlfriends are there through thick and thin. Yes, Girlfriends. And that was performed by Angie Stone. I had no idea. I had no idea that Angie Stone had her hand in any of that. Alrighty. We have from 1999 to 2004. We're the Parkers. Hey, mama. Yeah, the Parkers. The theme song from the Parkers. And it was performed by Countess Vaughn, which I did. I mean, she has just that classic voice. And Monique. Alrighty. Up now. From 1996 to 2001. I can't think of how to sing this theme song. But the Jamie Foxx show. Yes. Yes, yes. And Jamie Foxx himself performed the theme song. So there you have it. Those are the top theme songs that were ever, in our brains and our hearts. Those were the most popular ones. Alrighty. So let's get to this news. We got some stuff to talk about. So, last Thursday, not yesterday, last Thursday, we had the opportunity to witness the verses between Donnell Jones and Joe. And let me see, let me go back. Let me make sure there's no, oh, we got comments. We got comments. I'm so sorry. Boy, do we have comments. Okay, before we go on to the news, let's see. We've got a check-in from Clickers. Hey, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Miss Grace, we got a check-in from Miss Grace. Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well and you will have a wonderful, bright, and shiny day. Shanti says, if they're smart, they'll keep the theme song, but let Brandy do her version. Don't reinvent the wheel. And you know what? I'm kind of on the same page with you, Shanti, in all honesty. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what? Well, what are they going to do? We've had so many versions of it. You might as well go ahead and let her do the theme song and do it, like you said, Brandy way. All right. Shanti says, love the theme song for Good Times and the Jeffersons. Okay. We have a check-in from Zoe. I'm just going to say it just like that. Thank you so much for joining us. Shanti says, yes, Heavy D's version of In Living Color. In Living Color. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. One of my favorite. We got good morning from Pastor Brenda. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. So let's get back to this verses. So we were at an engagement, and we actually listened to the beginning of the verses. We missed maybe about 10-15 minutes of it, maybe. And we were able to listen to Donnell Jones and Joe, both 53 actually. And it was held in LA. So they said that her name, this chick's name here, what's her name? Estelle. So she was the one that kind of moderated this night. And we got on, we were listening to, I think Donnell Jones was up when we actually got on. So I'm going to read you the account here, and then I want to talk about this thing. So they say Donnell Jones ran through his tracks of Where I Want to Be, You Know What's Up, and the performance behind Get It Together by 702. Now, I didn't know this before, but when they come on the verses, they kind of give homage to anything they've written as well. That's on the table to do. So they did Get It Together, which was written by Donnell Jones for them back in the day. And they mentioned that Joe, pulled out his stutter, and I want to know. And I believe that's how he ended. I think that was the finale song. And for those of you who missed it, if you wanted to hear the song, the theme song, talk about theme songs, the Power theme song from Stars. Yes, so 50 did show his face. Tony Yayo was out. Uncle Murder was out. All these people. So they're talking about the reviews of the verses. Now, in this, I'll keep my separate thing, my comments. But the reviews for the verses, they tallied up all of the comments. These people were commenting so bad you couldn't even read the comments because stuff was just flying up the screen. So they say that Donnell Jones had some comments. And somebody said, Donnell Jones sounds like Robert Kennedy Jr. I'm hurt bad. Somebody said, Ayo, Donnell Jones might as well go be where he want to be because it isn't at this verses. All righty. Somebody else wrote, me ignoring all these bad notes because I love Donnell Jones. That tweet also included 2 loudly crying face emojis and 1 moon face emoji. Somebody else says, tuned into Donnell Jones singing in the verses and shut it right off. I can't see my goat go out like that. Wow. Well, there were a couple of defenders. People don't know Donnell was struggling with alcohol for years, so his voice isn't going to be as strong as Joel's. I'm sorry. You up for verses. I'm not trying to hear if you smoke, drink, use drugs, inhaling gasoline. I don't care. You come up, you step up to the plate, and you do what you got to do. Well, somebody else wrote, young and being on the road, drinking, and then you start drinking every day. Wow. So he backs that story up with the fact that, he was drinking, he, turned to alcohol, and he had some substance abuse issues, and, that was his word. He's human. You people go through things, blah, blah, blah. So, who watched verses? Who watched verses? All right, let me see. We have a check-in from, what does that look like? Sam? Okay, I don't know what God bless Muhammad means, but good morning. Thank you for joining us. Shanti says that was one of the best verses they presented. Donnell Jones was a little off, unfortunately. Anika says, so who told him to perform if his voice is not right? I don't want to have a different memory of his voice. And let me tell you, I had just got finished saying I wanted to see Joe in concert. And boy, did we get that. We got that. We got our Joe concert because he did his song. The songs were done in its entirety. When it came to Joe, we constantly got this abridged version of the song. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why? I didn't know most of his songs. I got to tell you, I didn't know I knew, the most common ones. And I've listened to Donnell Jones, but I don't remember a whole lot of those songs. I say Donnell Jones was unfortunately was defeated, and Joe was definitely the winner. I agree with Anika. I'm not trying to hear your excuses. When they calls you out to do the verses, you either take it or you leave it. You know how you sound. You know if it was too short of a time to get yourself together. No, you don't get that kind of a luxury of having an excuse. All I'm saying is, I'm glad the people didn't have to pay to hear Donnell Jones, because baby, we were riding in the car, and when I tell you, the comments were brutal. Brutal. So Shanti says, you mean Donnell Jones gave a bridge version of his song. So what did I say? Abbreviated? Yeah, same thing. No, you better be lucky these people didn't pay. Because had they paid for this, it would have been on. They were brutal. And I don't know. I declared Joe the winner. The article, people declared Joe the winner. So, oh well. What else are we talking about here? All righty. Well, we've been talking about this Varnell Hill show, and that's Tommy Davidson has reprised his role of Varnell Hill, but he will get his own show, and Martin will star in it with him. I don't know how often Martin is gonna actually be on, because I don't believe that they're gonna let him be on a whole lot, because he'll kind of steal the show. I'm sorry. Tommy Davidson, he has his funny moments. Chartice really loves him as Varnell Hill. Did you miss me? Yeah. It was cute. I don't know about, how successful this will be, but they've been at this for a long time. And they said up to 7 years that they've been at this Varnell Hill show. So Wendy Raquel Robinson will be a big part of this spinoff. And she says that she's bringing a little bit of Regina Greer as well as Tasha Mack to this particular character that she's going to be playing. And we should expect something good coming from Rachel Perkins. That's what she's going to be in this Varnell Hill show. She says it was great working with Tommy Davidson and Martin Lawrence, and she's really looking forward to stepping her game up, because she's like, okay, if you're working opposite them, you really got to step your game up. Well, listen, you really had to step your game up when you were opposite Steve Harvey and said, because they brought it. They brought it. So if she got through them, and that was in her early career, then she should have no problems. She should have no problems at all coming through as, this great individual on this show. So I don't know. Are you gonna watch it? I'm just curious. Well, not only is she starring in it, but Kim Whitley. Now, I don't know if Kim Whitley was she's been out for a while. She was on one of those comedies with Miguel Nunez, and she was pretty good on that comedy. It was quite a while ago. It was about two attorneys. I can't think of the name. It's right under. Boy, my brain is like at zero this morning. So you've got Wendy Raquel Robinson, you've got Tommy Davidson, you've got Martin, you've got Kim Whitley. So this looks like it might be something worth watching. We'll see. We'll see how it works. How it works. Let's see. Shanti says, I loved him as Varnell Hill, but I don't know about him having a show based on it. And she says, Wendy as Tasha Mack and Regina Greer. I want to see this. I love both of those characters. So I just started watching The Game to see, what she's all about in this. Because when The Game was actually on, I didn't watch it. I had no desire to watch it. I wasn't interested. But I'm going to try to get through this so that I can see what she's supposed to be bringing to the table when she integrates these two characters. So, all right, we got another fight over somebody who's dead's money. Oh, so a couple of weeks ago, we did Chadwick Boseman, where his brothers were fighting for the mom's money against the wife. We had Malcolm Jamal's family, his mama and his wife, the widow, who are fighting over money. And now we've got Biggie's son, CJ, and the Valletta Wallace's money, who is his grandmother. So they were very close, the grandmother and the two grandkids, because Biggie had two kids, a girl that he had when he was, younger, and then he had CJ. And I believe that's the child with Faith Evans. So last year, February 21st, she passed away at the age of 78. And when they looked up, one of Biggie's former managers, Wayne Barrow, was the executor of her estate. So everybody's in an uproar because they're saying that they could never imagine, as close as she was to her grandchildren, how she would have signed over, being the executor of the state, of her estate, to this Wayne Barrow. Now, it wasn't that things were bad between them, but not only that, he's 61. So you're going to give the executor of your estate to a 61-year-old person, opposed to your grandchildren. Now they say that in her will, she left them, the grandchildren, some stuff. And she left them her personal property, jewelry, furs, his music awards, and a home in Jamaica. Now, him and his sister are supposed to split that. Her name is Tayanya, and she's 33 years old. So they also have a 50% stake in the management company for Biggie's estate. So now CJ, Biggie's son, is fighting and going back to court because they had to go to court for some other things, but back to court because they're trying to get this Mr. Barrow off that estate page. Yeah. They have other people who have weighed in, and they said that, along with him, said that, you know what, she was really ill in her last few days. She was taking multiple levels of medications, multiple types of medications, and you really can't expect that would have been the end result had she been in her absolute right mind. So somebody else says, I don't believe his grandmother would sign over anything to anyone but the grands. I don't believe she was in her right state of mind and may have signed something that she wasn't aware of. And knowing that she missed her son, they were very close. I don't know. I don't know her personally, but you know what? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him, for him to actually go and try to, do something like that. Now, here's the other thing. She was very, very close to Faith Evans. They had a great relationship. And why wouldn't she leave it to her? Is the question. Because she's surely not 61 years old. So they are really, really paying attention to this here now that he's taking it back to court. And I don't know, people are always doing stuff. All right, we have Sam saying blessed Friday. I'm hoping it says Sam. I don't have on my glasses. Let me put my glasses on and stuff. Okay, so we're going to say Sammy. Okay. All right. Blessed Friday to you as well. Biggie's son played him in the Notorious movie. Shantice reminds us. And she says, I don't believe she signed over to manager either. These people are filthy. They are. Why are we always messing around with this thing here? Now, like I said, I don't know anybody. So I can't say they did or they didn't. But you know what? Again, this is what happens. So those of us who love the Power franchise, coming from 50 Cent, remember the other day we talked about, I think it was last week, we talked about the Penn State having this huge drug bust, and they had the fraternity it was two fraternities behind having this big drug ring at Penn State on campus. And they had the people who were pledging. Their initiation was cutting and bagging the drugs. I sent my child away to college, and you come back being a professional bagger and cutter of drugs. Well, 50 Cent got a wind of this story, and he says that has given him a thought toward a new storyline, a new show. So he went back to our girl, what's her name? The one who was the executive producer, Courtney Kemp, and seeing if they could work something out. Now, here's what I did not know. I did not know that Courtney Kemp and 50 actually had issues Not issues, period, because 50 got issues with everybody. But I didn't realize that they actually had this back and forth going on up with the rights and stuff. Yeah. I was like, he's just so sloppy. Well, they say that it won't be something that he's going to be able to do while this court case is going on. So this will be post court case. They say Marlon Wayans actually had to talk to him because he was explaining to him that after he did that Diddy documentary, you don't fare well when the actual stories are going on. So in other words, Diddy's in jail and blah, blah, blah. And there's some licensing issues when a case is going on. They say you can't run like a movie or a show or something like that. And they're like, is 50 the type of person who's actually going to sit back and wait? And 50's just 50. So again, you stupid. So maybe that's why those shows ended the way they did, as abruptly as they did, because he was having difficulty with Courtney Kemp behind the scenes. You're just messy and you have problems with absolutely everybody. You're a dope. You're a dope. I was looking at, what's that show? Chicago PD. And right as the show ends, executive producer Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf has been around since the 90s. Here we are running into 2027 and he still has his name plastered. You're an idiot. You are a straight idiot. Straight idiot. Oh, straight idiot. Straight idiot, straight idiot, straight idiot. Let me talk to my due time men and see if what they got to say. Alrighty. So before I get on, Shanti says, not a professional bag and cutter. Yeah, I sent you away and now you're a professional. He would have to expound more on the fraternity side of it. He keeps coming out with the same drug storyline, which is true. Now, Mr. Petty Betty, he's not waiting. No, he's going to make some moves that's going to cost him. He's going to make some moves that cost him. So let's see. Well, Pastor Jeff got up in this room a little earlier than anybody else. So let's say good morning to Pastor Jeff.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor Jeff. How are you?
Good, and you?
I am well, thank you. I am well, thank you. So let's talk about some of this stuff going on here. Did you see the verses of Joe and Donnell Jones?
No.
Dang, Pastor Jeff. All right, we're going to have to skip that. So, do you remember the Varnell Hill show?
Yeah,
that was on Martin?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. So now they're coming out with a Varnell Hill show for real. Martin, I guess, will make cameos because you don't want to have Martin on too much because then it'll become a Martin show.
Yeah.
But Wendy Raquel Robinson is going to play one of the, lead roles, as well as Kim Whitley is going to be a part of the cast. Is that something you think you're going to be watching? And what do you think about these two being a part of the cast?
Yeah, I mean, it's bringing back all the old school. I like it.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of Kim Whitley. She's been on some things, over the past recent years. She did something with Tisha Campbell, and they did some kind of a reality sitcom type of thing. I'm a big fan of hers, but she is funny. She can be funny, and I agree with you. Just bringing back the old schoolers. I
Hmm.
think I think I want to check it out. I don't know if I'll stick around if it doesn't kind of hit me the first two episodes, but I'm with you. I think I want to hang out with them for a little bit. Let me see what your boys got to say. Let me talk to Brother Ainsley.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Where's that smile? There you go. There you go. There you go. All righty. So, did you see the verses?
Nah, I heard about it. I forgot all about it. I
Oh
didn't know
my
when it came out.
goodness. All righty, gotta
Hope it
pass
was
that one
good.
by. It was good, but Joe was the better side of it. All
I
right.
would expect that to be the case.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of people were there for Donnell Jones, but he didn't
I'm
step
pretty
up
sure
to
he
the
got his
plate.
piece, but I would think Joe would probably have it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the name of the show, Sparks. Sparks versus Sparks. Sparks and Sparks. Something to that effect.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Barnell Hill show is coming out, and it will have some cameo by Martin himself, as well as Wendy Raquel Robinson is going to be a big part of this cast, and Kim Whitley. Are you going to be taking a shot at this?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot and check it out. Um, I mean, I like Kim Whitley. I
Okay,
love to see anybody the old school stuff like that. When I see that, I'm thinking the season folks coming out. So I'm
right.
expecting, something really good from our season folks, man. So
Oh, okay.
they ain't gonna be coming out. They shouldn't be coming out with anything less than superb material and stuff. That's what I'm expecting.
So am I actually. That was kind of my thought. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be really up on the Varnell Hill show, but I'm hoping that the writers are some of the old school writers that will make us laugh because there are no good comedies out, guys. Have you heard a good comedy yet?
Give me something of some substance,
Yes,
man. You know,
yes.
I could something that you'd see like I forget the name of the show. One or two episodes. I was like, I think I've seen enough of this.
Yeah, it's really nothing out here. Pastor Jeff, do you have any comedy show that you kind of have taken a liking to?
You mean from the back in the days?
No, from now.
No, I don't watch that much TV.
Because ain't nothing
Um,
to watch.
no comedy show. Nope. I'm not. I'm more into drama, kill 'em, bang 'em up,
Yeah.
shooting, type of
You know
stuff.
what? Me too, bro. I'm into that. I mean, for me, I started watching. I got into a little bit the Neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes, and yeah, I watched that.
I mean,
I got
it's
into
it's,
it for a
it's a,
while, but I stopped.
yeah, but it's nothing that draws me in. Nothing like a Law and Order episode for me though.
Okay, okay, okay. You like Law and Order. What's
And
your
the mob
favorite?
shows, Pablo
Okay,
Escobar kind of movies. I just saw one
okay, okay,
yesterday. Yeah,
okay. Pastor Jeff, you said shoot 'em up, bang bang.
Yeah, I like to see a lot of gangster stuff. You know, that comedy stuff is, I don't know, just seem like most times a waste of my time.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
we're looking for comedies to be comedies like back in the day, and comedies are not comedies like back in the day. So therefore, you're going to be more prone to move to that side. Shati said, "There's nothing now." Absolutely. Let's check out our brother Al, because Pastor KL don't watch no TV, so that's going to be a dead conversation right there. What's up, brother Al? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
All
what
right,
up,
all
bro?
right, all right. How are you?
A little bit of pain, but I'm okay.
Okay, well, thank you for being on in pain. So we have, did you see the verses, Al?
I was laid up, so no, I didn't get a chance to. I was all about healing. I usually watch the verses because I like them, but You know, I had the little surgery. I was laid up here. I ain't watched nothing.
All righty. All right. Okay. All right. What about this Varnell Hill show? Is this something that you think you're going to be reaching out for to try? Yeah, I'll give it a try. Everybody deserves a try.
You know, I would like to report you
Yeah.
because you're not gonna sit here and do that to me. You're not gonna do that to me. Well, you already know. See, you ain't even had to ask me. I always give a black show a chance. Always, I'll take a look at it and see. You know, if it keep my interest, I keep watching. If not, I'm like, okay, I tried.
Okay. So what's on your, remote these days?
Man, ain't nothing out there, man. It really not. It's sad, man. I'm about ready to try to hook up somebody so I can write some comedy in there because this stuff is just it's horrible, man. Just nothing.
Okay. Shati says that's why I still keep Martin, Jamie Foxx show, Wayans Brothers, and the Fresh Prince on rotation. But you sure can't keep nothing these days on rotation. It is boring.
Absolutely.
All righty. Let's see what Pastor Kale has got to say. I'm sure he's not going to be able to talk about either one of these first two topics. Hey, Pastor Kale.
Let me say this. I'm appalled. I come all the way to New York to hang out with you guys, and you're talking about it. No, that's just horrible.
Well, to your face. To your face. Talk about you to your face. All righty. So I know you didn't watch Versus.
Listen, not only did I not watch Versus, I don't know who Joe or this other guy is. I never heard of him.
Oh, you completely useless here. Completely. And I'm not going to ask you, will you watch the Varnell Hill show? Because you don't watch no TV.
No, I will watch it. Listen, I'm a great Tommy Davidson fan. I like Tommy Davidson better than Martin, to be honest with you. So I will watch it.
Really?
I don't like Kim Whitley, but I
Okay.
really like Tommy Davidson.
Oh, oh, wow.
You might call the paramedics.
Yes, take my breath away. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Well, then that's interesting. Well, we got the next story about Biggie's son.
You didn't ask me
And
about the comedians. A comedian show I watch.
oh, you got a comedic show you watch?
Yes, I like. Listen, I like the Pastor Steph in due time because I think that comedian K.L. Frazier is outstanding. I think he's outstanding.
You know what? See, this is why you cannot be let off your, you can't be let loose because now this is what we get. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. All right. Shati said, who does not know who Joe is? Yo, Kale, this is just like crazy. You got to know one Joe song. You know nothing.
I'm a pastor. I just listen to Christian music.
All right. So Biggie's son is now going to court to get this old, what do you call it? Producer. He used to be producers. And he claims that Valletta Wallace signed over her estate to him like days before she passed away. So she signs over this estate, and then when you look up, she's now dead. Now, what really stirred this up was because something came up, and they noticed there was an addendum to the will, and some estate stuff had been shifted, and that kind of indicated that this, I can't think, I'm trying to find his name now. I can't try to find his name, but this particular guy had Wayne Barrow got Valletta Wallace to sign over the estate to him. Now, she left her grandchildren some stuff in the will, so they can't say that they were completely left out. She left them some personal property, some jewelry, furs, music awards that belonged to her son, and a home that she has in Jamaica. But they're saying that there's nowhere in the world with the relationship that she had with her grandchildren, even the relationship that she had with Faith Evans, that there's no way people are believing that she would have written her estate into the hands of Wade Barrow. So here we are again. It was just a few weeks ago that we discussed this whole stuff with Chadwick Boseman and Malcolm Jamal Warner. And, you know, Ainsley, I'm going to start with you because you always have that edge, of um, knowledge that, most of us here don't have. And, for he's going back to court. What kind of stuff would he do you think he would have to show to kind of get that out of Wayne Barrow's hands into the grandchildren hands?
All right. I mean, I'm not specific on details on the probate procedures and stuff like that, but I do know that when you talk anything probate, um, just because you have a will doesn't. A will is just your desires, what you like to happen on paper. It's not like automatically just goes like that. So it has to go before a judge to approve it and say yes, I think this is okay. And when you do the probate, it has to be notarized. It has to be some other because you're going to be transferring, property, assets, and stuff like that. So it has to be notarized. It has to have to have witnesses. I believe two witnesses. You know, so the contention will be if there was no challenges initially, then the judge would say, okay, this looks fine. Okay, now there is a challenge. Now I would have to question the credibility of those witnesses and whatnot. Are they were they able to see that um the was with the mother, was she in her right mind? Was she, was she on a deathbed? Did she look likely she's going to die soon? Was she critically ill and stuff like that? And I would really question those witnesses and stuff like that. And because it does seem kind of unlikely um, that I agree with the Biggie's son. It does seem questionable and stuff like that. And you give yourself to a manager, one understanding so much of assets. It's like, come on now. No, that it don't sound right to me either. It really doesn't. So I think it will start with questioning those witnesses who said, yeah, she signed this on her own free will. You know.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that explanation. Um, you know, there was oh my goodness gracious. My brain is on low today. Say one thing and forget the next thing. Pastor Jeff, let's just go to you. It'll come back to me. You hear and okay. So they said that she was on quite a few meds and her health was declining. So this is one of the reasons why they think that he took advantage of her. And like I said, they say like days, like maybe a couple of weeks after she signed this estate over, she's now gone. So that may add to your question of, does it look like she was, going? Um, Pastor Jeff, what's your thought? I mean, no, we don't know. We don't know. But what's your thought?
Well, I'm, dealing with a situation like that where, these people, that's what they do. They, you know, they isolate you, catch you old. It's all about that money. And they, get in when they can get in. So I believe she probably really originally meant it for the grandkids. And this person you know, got in at the end and took advantage, like people do when it comes to money. I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But I don't understand the stress about the person being 61. I mean, that was that old? That's not old, you know.
Well, it's older than your grandkids.
Oh yeah, yeah. But what? Why was that relevant?
For me, I was making
Oh,
the I was making the comparison. So you leave. You have grandchildren. More than likely, you'll leave. Those were his kids. So, why wouldn't you leave it to the kids that you had a great relationship with? And then again, the reason why I brought up the age is because they're young. I would give it to the kids because they would have more use out of whatever there is. Somebody who's older, they dying off soon. I don't care if it's another 21 years. They're dying off soon. Give it to the kids who can appreciate it and enjoy it. So that's why I brought up the age. Listen, I'm gonna be 60. I ain't siding with nobody or shading nobody. It is what it is for me. And I couldn't see, giving it to an older person opposed to someone younger who I loved.
are
That
you
was the point.
diagnosed soon?
I'm sorry.
Are you diagnosed soon?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the day
I'm
nor
just
the
saying
hour.
because I'm gonna be 60 soon, and I got a long way to go.
I agree. I agree that, like I said, if we're gonna live another 21, 29,
No, no,
35
don't
years,
put no 21. You better
you
put
know.
51 or something on there.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Don't be
ahead.
killing me. Don't be killing me off early.
Go ahead, Noah.
You call me no if you want. I don't be put me in the grave that early.
And I'm not even necessarily putting you in the grave. But if you were somebody gets Alzheimer's, you useless.
Uh, don't make me lose my mind now.
You didn't already lost your mind, Pastor Jeff. We ain't
Listen, I'm
waiting for
in
that.
my right mind. I'm gonna live to be over 105 years old, and I got a long way to go. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I feel sorry for Nicole.
I didn't know I would strike such a
No, well,
nerve. Oh my
I
goodness.
love my wife, but I plan to outlive her, my kids, everybody.
Oh my, I'm so
I hear you,
sorry.
bro.
I'm so sorry if I offended you, Pastor Jeff.
Yes, you
I hear
did.
you.
But making me dead by 61.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know you would take it so personal. Brother Al, what say you? Does it, what? I mean, we know, we don't know. And, and that's possibility that she could have left it to the ex-manager.
Well, first and foremost, I will be stopping by your house tonight. I got some papers for you to sign. We'll take care of that right there. I got some papers for you to sign, so we'll take care of that. I think maybe, I'm thinking maybe the managers did take advantage because, again, like you said, she was on meds, and they knew that, and she laying up, so they went over there, and probably did the gift of gab. Hey, listen. We've been with you for a long time. We'll take care of the grandkids for you and get them what they need and everything. And she signed it, because I can't see, like you said, she had a great relationship with her grandkids, and to leave them nothing, I don't see that. So again, that evil money, what I'm saying, that money that make people evil. They went in there and sold her a dream. Hey, don't worry about it. Listen, we'll take care of the kids, make sure no fighting goes on, and we'll distribute it to everybody. And she was on meds and she trusted him. All right, cool, no problem. She signed it.
Yeah. All righty. And Pastor KL.
Yeah, I'm definitely with what Brother Al said. I think it was a bunch of broken promises. I think he sat there and made it look good, and even called the children out by their names, so it looked like he had a relationship with them as well, and that he would definitely do the right thing by them, and that's what she wanted.
Right.
Sometimes, when that's what you want, and he sounds so good and convincing to it, then yeah, you take it. I'm not in my right mind anymore, or I'm about to leave here. I need to make sure that they're okay. Now, my question would be, and again, I'm not this biggie person. How much did he really have that much money left? Didn't he die a long time ago?
Well, don't you get royalties?
They still
We are.
playing his music. They
Yeah, he's
still
got royalties coming.
they still
Yo,
using him in all kind of things.
And
yeah.
then the
So
mother took over and built off that. You know,
Yeah.
when he passed away, she took stuff and she built off it.
yeah, so it's a state. Is definitely worth more than it's valued more than what he had alive. So it's in the
Right.
millions. It's in the millions. You
Wow.
know, but two things with that. You know, I believe like Brother Al and what you said. You know, the manager. It appeared that to me, the manager was like you said, listen, I'll take care of your grandkids. I'll make sure that's what I do. I manage. So that's what I do. And I really, it comes to mind is that he had to speak ill of Faith. You know, is even though they might have a good relationship, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
And to say, well, listen, because you probably think, well, listen, well, then something happened. It's all on Faith to be the administrator of what happens to the kids. So I will make sure your kids will be straight. You know what I'm saying? Give it to me. That's what I do. I manage, and so forth and so on. But we talked about it before. One way to avoid this is to have a trust. Is where you avoid all of this. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no coming back to say or make changes and stuff like that. You have to make everything solidified, so there is no probate. You know what I'm saying? So things could have been structured where what her wishes are is placed in the trust, and that's it. Period. And that's why
So,
now you got to go through probate. Got to
Brother
go through
Angel,
all of these issues and stuff like that. You
Brother
know,
Angel, let me ask you a question. So, let's say I have a manager and I for some reason die. Is he still my manager until someone else fires him? Does he still have a position?
to me, no. That agreement ends on your demise. Yeah, that dies immediately. So to me, this will try to get a comeback on, try to make some money after he's gone.
Well, they have him around. He's actually active. He's been active while Valletta Wallace was alive.
I
They
bet
had
he
him.
was.
Yeah, he
Been
had
active
some.
as what? Just a friend, or I mean, what is he
No,
active
no,
as?
no, no, no. As like they kept him in place as some
Mm,
level of manager, and he had a relationship with her and the business side of things. And in other words, when Biggie passed, they didn't shift. They didn't make the
yeah,
shift.
that's what I'm
He
asking.
already-
Yeah.
right. He ingrained himself in the family, in the business, and they trusted him. And that's how he was able to stay
Yeah,
out.
I can see, like
Yeah,
Al said, mom, she helped grow the estate, so he probably had a hand in
right,
that.
right,
So I'm
right.
not to say that he ain't entitled to his cut to whatever he did, but that needs to be specifically made out. Whether 10%, 20%, whatever the case may be, it's specific what your compensation is going to be. That's it, monetary. There ain't going to be you know, um, this ever ending. You're in the family pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get a certain amount. Thank you very much. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He's not family.
Okay. I have a question, which I thought was going to be something like what I thought Pastor K was going to touch on it. So right now I have an iPad, an iPhone, $5 in the bank. Should I get a trust?
Nah.
Leave that to Shantice.
Hey, Pastor Steph, we'll take care. You got $5 in the bank. I'll make sure everybody get a quarter. Everybody will get a quarter. We'll take turns with the iPad. Shantice have it one week. The grandkids have it the next week. I'll take care of you.
Who said leave it to Shantice?
I did.
I thought that was your voice. I thought that was you.
You know
So
what I'm saying? You
on
don't
a
you don't
serious
you
note,
don't want to leave her destitute. Gotta leave her
I
a little
know
something.
the iPad might take her to greater, higher heights.
Yes,
Um,
especially that cell phone.
all
Yeah.
seriousness, at what point should we get? Oh, Shanti says she's the manager, Pastor Jeff. Oh Lord,
No, no, no. I'm gonna get right on in there before mama die, because she gonna die soon, because she's 60.
oh, you are never gonna let me live this down, are you?
She ain't
So,
got long. She ain't got long. I'm gonna get right there.
all jokes aside, Ames, like, at what point should we get or make out a trust where we feel like, or this stuff is valuable enough?
When you have, to me, I think when you start to have any substantial assets, I mean, I think definitely once you get a house, any kind of property value, anything property, I think you need to get one. I think if you happen to have, if you add the totality of your assets, everything, if it's more hypothetically than a quarter million or half a million, perhaps do that. You have children, young children, um, and we got certain assets, good life insurance. I would think to do that. I would think to do that, particularly property,
So
because
what's young children? I mean, if they're grown and on their own, they're not young children. What's young children in your
I'm talking like
definition?
minors.
Oh, okay.
But even with adult children, if we got to me property, I think that's a good thing to do that. Definitely do that because you may have one child responsible, um, or none of them are responsible, hypothetically, and then when you die, they want to, you got family come and say, "Oh, I'm gonna think I'm entitled to this, that, and another." You know what I'm saying? So, a will kind of helps separate the noise and stuff like that, but I think a trust is kind of solid, and you
But
set.
doesn't that make it a little more murky? So if I have, a young child and I die and my house is there, she can't do no. They're not gonna let her do nothing with the house, and the people ain't gonna keep the house until she get of age.
Yes, it will.
Mm.
So you got a house,
Yeah.
right? You got a house and you got 9 kids, all right? And so you put the house in the trust. That means the trust owns the house. You have somebody who's going to be able to manage the trust and whatnot. There's two kind of trust. There's a revocable and irrevocable. One you can change, one you cannot change. But the idea basically is that everything is now into the trust. The trust is its own entity. It's its own being. It has its own like EIN, its own social security and stuff like that. And you set in place exactly what you wanted it to be, how to do it, and somebody's going to administer that to exactly how to your specifications. Who benefits from it? Who's gonna you might have somebody who may benefit, but they're not in charge of it because you don't think they're trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? You can set exactly, and the thing is financially where it's beneficial because there's estate taxes. Once you die, say you left it to the fifth child, they got that estate taxes. Every time you transfer, there's all those taxes that's involved. Whereas in a trust, there is none of that because it just stays. It's basically who's controlling all of this. There's no taxes, no nothing like that.
Is it
And
expensive to get a trust? Is it expensive?
it can't. Well, it depends. On your assets. It can run. It can cost. It can cost about, depending, maybe at 5,000. Depends on the how big the estate is. And where you're at. It may cost about 7,000, something like that, depending on your attorney and how sophisticated you want to go. You may think, oh, it's a lot of money and stuff like that. It is substantial, but it's well worth it. Because now you making a specific effort, you getting this in line. It's almost like nobody want to talk about planning for their death, but there's going to be a time where it's going to have to be talked about. So it's better you set what you want to happen yourself and let it be questionable. Or I think dad would want this. I think mom would want it this way. No, it's exactly how it wants to be in that trust.
That's definitely something to look into. Just real quick on my block here, because I'm the block associate president, and there was a lady that was there, and she stayed at. She kind of gave up her life to take care of her mother, and she had like about 5 siblings, and she was the most responsible one. And then there was one daughter that never called, don't talk to her mother, nothing. Mom died, but didn't have no will or nothing, so automatically the house went to the kids. All the other brothers and sisters said, listen, you was there for mom, you took care of mom, you could stay in that house. That one sister that never called, didn't check on mom, no nothing, was like, nah, we're not doing that. I want my share. And I had went with her. We went to a couple of lawyers. He was like, yo, there's really nothing we could do. So she kind of got put in the street because they had to sell the house and split it amongst each other. So that's definitely something to think about. Like, she should have did it. That one that never did nothing, don't call, no nothing. Oh, mom gone? Nah, well, she had that house, right? I want my share. And so it was forced to sell it.
Yeah, and it's an evolving situation because things happen. So you have more kids, so you may have more grandkids. Your financial status may grow, and you're starting to see a certain relationship is not quite what it is. As you're talking about, like, for example, you want the stuff to go to your grandkids, but you don't like their mother. If you leave it to their mother, they will take over everything. And you really don't want all your life work really to be totally in the hands of their mother. Say you're not married, to a son and stuff like that. You want things to go more so to the grandkids. So therefore, that's one way, putting into the trust. So therefore you bypass. That's another thing, like, so you say you have an estate, you want stuff to say in your line, your family gene line and whatnot. God forbid you don't want something to go to your grandkids, they get married, then all of a sudden all your assets now goes to the divorcee. A trust kind of ensures that can't happen.
Wow.
Hey, good stuff there. So, Pastor Steph, how you want to do this? You want to lead me to Due Time Show, or do we got to sign some papers? What we gonna do here? Me, Ainsley, Pastor Jeff, and Pastor Karen, we can share this show. We don't want to have to fight.
Oh my goodness gracious! That the Lord will have to take care of that one. I have no say. So it might be left, to the janitor. I don't know. I have no idea. But this is really some good information.
Oh yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you, Ainsley. And we may it's kind of sparking some thought as to a future show, how we address this stuff, because this is information that we need to know. Everybody's thinking, leave a will, leave a will, leave a will. And
That's what I used to think too.
yeah,
That's
that's
what
that first thing. First, leave a will. And I went through my grandmother's. We had to help my mother become the administrator of her estate, the executive of her estate. And boy, it was hell. Oh my God, it was hell, because all the information you need to find out, and people are dead, and you can't find somebody. But if you do this stuff while you're alive, then life is a whole lot different. A whole lot different. So, it's better that you do it now. I'm telling you, I've been through it. I've been through it. And I have to now go through it for my own mother now. And I don't look forward to this process at all. I do know a little more about my mom than she did about her mother. But it's a lot. It's a lot. So, if you love your family, definitely. That's why I was asking you at like what point, because people they downplay what they have, or the importance of, or the value of what they have. So they figure, like you said, Al, the kids will do right. We don't have to discuss this. That's not the first time I've heard. People had to get out of a house because, Shantice and I were just talking about that yesterday. Like 4 or 5 times I've heard people had to vacate the house, and that was their primary place to live, because the other ones want the money, and there's nothing you can do. House gotta get up out of there.
There are some horror stories. There's some
Yes,
horror
yes,
stories.
yes.
I know of a couple, a lady. Basically, she saved up her money and she basically got a house. She had a daughter. She got married somebody, and but she wasn't up on this thing. But what happened? Short story. She dies. Right. He later on remarries. Right. When he dies. The new wife basically claimed the house and kicks the daughter out.
Wow,
Basically, because why? The mother, it's up wasn't specified that if anything happens to her, everything goes to her daughter. Period.
wow, wow,
So now
wow,
she lived in the house she lived in. She has watched it, except for all them get married. These other people move in, and she's out.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
And I stumbled, I just happened to, over the years to stumble onto this because, a little as transparency, I realized eventually, uh, my parents I never forget, there was a black lady who kind of, I hate to say it, but kind of ripped my parents off, you know. Was starting like this, Dad said, "Oh yeah, we got things in order, and we don't want to hear stuff about parents dying." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, we don't want to talk about no funeral or nothing like that. Y'all good, right?" So just said, "Yeah, we got things in order. We got this. The paperwork was over there." It was like, "Yeah, me and my brother, yeah, fine, it's over there, all right." Then years later, um, a gentleman, he came, who was friends with our neighbors, and he questioned. He said, "You got this stuff in order?" It was like, "Yeah, we got stuff in order." And he was like, "Are you sure? You mind if I just take a look at it, just to make sure? You may want to update it and stuff like that." How about now? I got kids. My brother's now married. The whole family dynamics has kind of changed now, right? So they said, "Yeah." It comes to find out, then the lady, she didn't do anything really right. The stuff on paper, it looks like it looks like something really substantial. I mean, the font, the print, the paper is written on. It looks really like it's really good, you know. But as far as the property and stuff like that, he said this stuff wasn't done, and he proved it. You know,
Wow.
because because the stuff, if it's in the trust, all your property and stuff is public information. So it'll be, he said it's not in the trust name. It's not, and that became more due diligent on understanding the whole process and make sure things are really, really in order.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's not a fly by night, something you can just do by yourself. You really having to have attorney work on it. A will you can do by yourself, but trust, you need an attorney to do this.
Wow,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
wow.
All right. Shanti says, Pastor Steph, let's do your trust today.
Shantice ain't playing.
Well, she gonna be very disappointed because Ainsley had
Nah,
already said that iPad and that iPhone, that ain't worth nothing to put no trust
that's right.
together for.
She gonna get the other two, Shanice. They're gonna come on, let's go.
And Pastor Steph,
So,
I'll be
yes,
your trust.
you want me to
You can
trust?
trust me.
Well,
Don't trust Pastor Jeff. I'll be your trust.
you know what?
You want a
I
piece of
would,
this, KL?
I would, oh, wait, here's the funny part. The next comment, Serge says, good morning to the Due Time crew. The trust will be handled by me. Sorry, Shantice. That just got changed at the last minute. So even Serge is putting in on the trust. I would hope that Pastor Steph was worth $5. Everybody fighting over Pastor Steph's trust. Oh my goodness gracious. Um, Thank you so much, off the beaten path from our initial conversation, but this was valuable. valuable information for all of us. Pastor KL has his, assets, and Pastor Jeff he has assets, and Al has assets, and
What
Jose has
assets? What I
assets.
got?
Um, you got some assets.
You trying to
Um,
take the only thing I got, my wife?
and- I ain't coming for the trust. I ain't coming for the trust. But everybody here has assets, and except for me, I have no assets for real. I got an iPad and an iPhone, and that's it.
You got your
At this
house.
moment,
You got
I
a
don't.
house. You got a house.
No. I don't have a house. I am technically a renter.
Oh.
I've never left this house, but I am technically a renter.
That's good. That's good.
Right. Which has benefited me, and to be a little transparent, I now have to. My mother, the house is in her name, so that's why I have to do the executor administrator of the estate, so that I can now take and have the house. So that's why I said, take care of your business. As I tell you, no lie, my mother and I talked about it, and we finally started to put things in motion, had her sign some papers, and in a month she was gone.
Wow.
All the time we talked about it, and finally got the wheels in motion, and a month later she was gone. And I was like, all the years, Stephanie, that you talked, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We gotta make sure it happens. Gotta make sure it happens. And we go to start, and something gets interrupted, and we start, and then something gets interrupted, and we start, and I forget, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Signed the papers to get the ball rolling, and one month, 1 month to date, she was gone.
Pastor
And
Steph, do
now
you have any siblings? I don't remember you have. You
I have
have
a sister.
siblings?
I have one
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, sister.
Oh,
Yeah, one sister.
I thought about that. I don't think I ever met her. I don't think.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I have one sister. The good part about it is there's no argument. There's no argument. Like I said, it's my house. From the time I got it, I bought it. I signed the papers for it. I've never left it. So thank God I don't have that issue where I'm gonna have somebody coming behind me and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for Bishop Harris, since he's the bishop today. Bishop Harris. So let's just say, with Pastor Steph's situation, she's been there all these years. Forget about sisters or anybody. Can the state or anybody come and say this is not her house? She can't stay there.
No. You know what? I'm just going to give just a blank scenario, right? Just not to say this is details, all right? So the house is in a mom's name, whoever's name, or whatnot. My suggestion would be to put the house in a trust, right? The trust owns the house. Steps could stay there, right? She nominates Shantice to be she could be a beneficiary, but she's the trustee. And, Shanice, Tamasia, they all benefit. They all have access control of this trust and whatnot. Steph lives there and whatnot. And so because she lives there, she can pay rent. She got to pay rent to the trust, supposedly, right? Therefore, reducing her annual income. So therefore, she may be eligible for more benefits, Social Security benefits, and stuff like that. Because you're gonna have you might be getting certain benefits if you got a $500,000 house.
Right.
Well, the house is not in your name no more.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you got to pay rent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's, it's almost, I hate to mention this name, number 487. You own nothing, but you control everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like one kind of financial moves. There's a financial advantage of doing it this way. We like to think, oh, it got to be in my name and stuff like that. No, 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 no. It's one of those things that once you know better, you try to do better, because what you don't know will actually cost you a lot more and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's true.
We will be
You know,
talking soon, Ainsley. We will be talking soon. Let's
Wow.
go.
I just happened to find out about this. I say like, you know, a few years ago. Like Pastor Steph, like my parents, they had this stuff set up years ago. It's only after my father passed, we think everything is in order and stuff like that. Somebody happened to say, "Yo, listen this," and I was like, "How much is a state tax? How much is it?" So when I'm a neighbor, former neighbors, he owned 4 houses, right? His mother owned. They had, they accumulated had 4 houses. They said, had he not put this trust in place, when his mother died, the state tax would been so much he will lose one of them.
Wow.
He will lose one of them.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this is about saving some money. Really financially saving some money.
Wow. Wow. We've learned a lot here today.
We will be talking soon, Ainsley.
All right, bro.
We'll be
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
soon.
We have a lot.
Y'all call him. He is the bishop now. Give him some respect. Put some respect on his name now.
You're right. Right. You're right, Cal. Bishop, we'll be talking soon.
Yeah, but no, I would say,
Oh,
listen, I'll
goodness.
tell you about research this stuff for yourself. Just don't take my word for it. And everybody's situation is different. Like who you want to control, and stuff you want to move in, and because your trust situation and your state is still two different things. It's called estate planning, but you want to make sure things are in order for your loved ones and whatnot.
I ain't loving nobody.
Okay. Okay. We have a comment. Good morning. After a night, I hope you just haven't undone me reading this statement. Good morning. After a night to sleep on it, were you able to think of one area of Black excellence? Goodbye. Now,
Well, I wish you could pull him up. Oh, Lord is
Oh
mercy.
no.
man,
I wish
No.
you could pull him up.
this is a good crew for that one.
Yeah, this is a good group for that. We got to work on that, Pastor. We can pull people up.
Ainsley and Jeff wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah, he was straight.
No, I was on there. I saw that with that guy.
Oh yeah,
Ainsley was in the background.
yeah.
Ainsley was in
I
the
was
background.
fuming on the backside, man. I was like, oh man. Woo.
We needed Jeff. We needed Jeff.
You know what? One thing I can say, and it shows honestly on how each one of us has grown. This was like the first time all these years on the Due Time show that we have ran against somebody who's racist. He cannot say he's not racist because he is, but we handled it so well because the old Al, Lord is mercy. Woo!
You know what's funny? I got so agitated, and I talked to Kale about this yesterday, and I got so agitated just now, I just blocked him. And Kale said yesterday, he was like, you can't block him. You need to find a way to get him on. And he said, I wish he would be on tomorrow.
Yep.
It was Kale's fault.
I said that.
You know what?
I
I was hoping
wanted
that
Jeff
too.
and Ainsley to get him.
I was hoping that too.
And I
Really?
actually banned him. And man, I just got to, because I actually thought when I first started reading it, it says
That he was gonna
after,
apologize.
right. So you know what? I thought about it and I realized that although my opinion is not the same, I apologize for my behavior. I apologize for being disrespectful. And that's why I put my glasses on. I'm like, no, I want to read this thing. And now I'm mad at myself because this is a platform where, Ainsley ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nowhere to go. Al ain't got nowhere to go. Kale ain't got nowhere to go. I don't know about you, Jeff, but we ain't got nowhere to go. And I'm mad now that I actually did block him. But, maybe, maybe it's better to block him now than to block him later. Because I don't see him being verbally respectful. I
No,
don't.
I don't see it either. What I can see, tell, no.
Yeah,
I can see when he started. I remember I was just reading the comments. I'm like, when he's, man, he was just like going in. Y'all hit a nerve, and he
yeah,
was like, seemed like he was like,
yeah, yeah,
One, one of the
constantly going.
one of the
yeah,
things Pastor Steph did say, and which was true, we talk about stories whether you black, green, orange, or blue.
yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yesterday, we didn't even say anything about color or anything. We
No,
just
that's what I'm
said
saying,
what's
right?
right is right and what's wrong is wrong. So, and I just saw the comment when he came up, and he's like, "Yo, well, you haven't thought about black excellence? Oh, I'm gonna kill him. The car you drive, you wouldn't be driving your car if it wasn't for black excellence. Because black folks, there's so much on there. A lot of utensils you wouldn't be using, food you wouldn't have. But again, it you're gonna run across those things. It took some years, but we finally ran across somebody who was racist, and we
You know
handled
what?
it.
And that's what I was telling
I was
Pastor
proud of
Steph. I
Shanti.
I I,
I'm
I
proud
think
of
I
Shanti.
think that it was important for us to hear the rhetoric. You know, how many times when we are children and our parents say stuff to us, we ain't listening at that moment. We ain't hearing nothing they have to say, but after a while it sinks in. He might not listen at the moment, but like you just said, brother Al, that car you driving, the utensils. After this stuff starts sinking in, and he may never come back to the platform and apologize and say, "Oh yeah, you're right," but it has to hit him at some point. And if we keep on allowing these folks to be blocked or to run away, it's never going to hit them because their mindset is going to always be that they're scared of us. They don't want to face this stuff, and they're going to run with all this crap. And then they're going to find another group of people who's not as anointed as we are, who's not as educated as we are, and because of the stuff he said, they go kill him.
Yeah, yeah. Teresa has a very interesting statement. She says, "This is Black excellence, the wealth of knowledge, the love and care to give advice to those who don't have family or friends to teach them." And I applaud you for that comment because I
Amen.
didn't think
Amen.
about it like that. And I thank you. And I'm mad that I blocked him, but in all
I
honesty,
definitely understand it because to
yeah,
me, at a certain point, it's like we're not longer having a conversation. We are no
right,
longer having a back and forth exchange
right,
of ideas. We may
right,
disagree.
right.
Sometimes the disagreement that makes it a bit more okay. You make your point, I make my point.
Right,
At
right,
least I can have. At least we walk away with understanding of how the other person
right,
feel.
right,
But
right,
when that seems like that is not happening, it's like then you just want to say what you got to say, spew all this hate, spew all these things that's not lies, spew all these lies, and give out these fake numbers. It's just like where you getting this from? You just saying this. At a certain point, it's like enough is enough. This ain't going nowhere. So to me,
right.
I understand at a certain point. It's like we got to go. We
Yeah,
said we put it out there. We put the truth out there. We stand on it. Period. 10 toes down. And love you, but we got to move on.
yeah. And that's the way I felt yesterday when I was reading the comments. Remember, there was a string of
It was
comments,
a
right?
laundry
And
list.
I read it. I read it. No matter how I felt about it, I gave you a voice. For those who don't really look at the chat room, who can't look at the chat room because maybe their device is too small or whatever for their viewing or their reading. I read it. I didn't even read it with any nastiness. Just read it. Um,
Yeah, I'm surprised you did all that because I
yeah,
was
I
like,
did because I wanted to show the black excellence unintentionally. You
I was
understand
gonna
what I'm
ask you where
saying?
was his hood.
You know? I wanted to show the
That
black
hood
excellence.
still fit you. That's one of the things I spoke about at the school. 'Cause I tell you, they get mad when they see me walk through that door. Oh, here he come, because I keep it real. And I said one of the curriculums in school is that we should learn about everybody. Because a lot of times people go by what they see on TV, they go and they ignorant to it. And I said that in the school that the kids should have we have 4 different semesters every year. break down some stuff. Talk about the Jewish religion. Talk about black. Talk about the Indian. Because a lot of people, it was one young girl, she's from Bangladesh. And me and her were just sitting there talking. And man, just the stuff in her country was just like, I was like, wow, that really? And then I was like, well, here in the black community, this is what we do. And she was so interested. She was like, wow, I didn't know that. So I think if they put these things in school and let these kids learn, it will help a lot. It would help a lot.
Learn. Hey, we're saying learn true history.
Yes, yes.
But here we are again. They want to eliminate African American contributions to American history.
Yeah, this country was built off our ancestors' back. So you want to see black
exactly,
brother? You take a look. America would not be running smooth all the stuff that we done and built and made in this country.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And like I said, that's why, I wanted to show that, you know what, you have a voice. We're not, until you get disrespectful. Because I was telling Pastor KL yesterday, how many times are we blocking people when they get on here? We're in the middle of a good conversation, and then they say, well, women are not supposed to be preaching. Bye. I'm not going to stop our conversation to now get into your stupid topic. Somebody brought up something one day and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. We're not talking about that today. Come back on another day. Maybe we'll be talking about it and you'll get your voice. It has everything to do with perception and understanding, true understanding, and knowledge, facts.
Absolutely.
That's true. I know y'all was. Yeah, I know y'all was. I thought about it. I said, I hope if he come on it, because he sound like a person he's going to try to agitate. And I was like, okay, now me and Brother Jeff is going to add a little our flavor on this one here, boy.
That was before I blocked him.
I don't understand what the whole talk is. I mean, Jesus white, Santa Claus is white, everything right is white. Why are we talking about blacks?
Right.
I do want to say I would like to give the Peace Treaty Award to Shantice because he was attacking Shantice. I was sitting there, I said, Shantice, in a minute, we're going to have to mute Shantice in a second.
He was coming for Shantice.
Peace Treaty Award.
Yeah.
He was coming for her.
And she handled it well, I have to say. And I'm sitting here and I'm reading his comments at Shantice. And I'm saying to myself, does he realize that at Shantice is my baby? Yo, you need to watch the show a little bit longer so you can understand the dynamic. Because for me to keep reading at Shantice, that was a whole lot of God in me yesterday. Because I could have responded without her even responding. And I'm like, so again, like Teresa said, this is Black excellence. Because despite what he said about Black people, we exemplified something so contrary to what he was depicting and how he was depicting us to be. And I said to myself, you know what, only Jesus could have kept everybody at bay yesterday. When I tell you everybody was like,
20 years ago, this would have been a whole different conversation.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It would have been a bad situation. 20 years.
It might not even been 20 for me.
That's what I'm saying. Try 20 months, 20 weeks. And because sometimes the same way, like you said, Ains, we struck a nerve with him. Shanti said 20 minutes ago. He struck nerves here. But the difference between us, we didn't become negative. We did not become disrespectful.
And belligerent.
It was very interesting. When you get a chance, Pastor Jeff, go back and look at it from the YouTube side, because he's coming through on YouTube. And the only thing about how the chat room, it gets broken up. So however you're viewing it, that's where your comments will show. So we don't have a platform after that streams all of the comments. So if you're watching it from Facebook, it's only going to give you Facebook comments. If you're watching it from YouTube, it's only going to give you YouTube comments. So you're kind of missing some stuff while you're only reading from one side. But he came through on the YouTube side.
YouTube.
So you would have to watch it from YouTube
The
to
last
read,
30 minutes. I'll
yeah,
say,
to
right?
read his comments and to see how disrespectful he had gotten. And again, like I said to Pascal was like, he was straight up, no, you should have kept him. And I was like, no, well, Jesus is gonna have to speak to me because he's getting blocked. And sure enough, like I said, when I saw him come up just now, I honestly thought that, okay, you know what? Maybe you did sleep on it. And maybe you do realize that, you know what? I had a whole panel of people that I was speaking to. And you know what? Really, that wasn't right. Wasn't right what I said. Even if I feel the way I feel, wasn't the whole presentation from my side wasn't right. But still, again, clearly, you feel like what you said, Pastor Jeff, white is right. And there's no black excellence in this world. We are all trash. We are all criminals. We have sucked the life out of this world. We have criminalized this world. Us. And it speaks again. It speaks a lot for everyone's temperament here yesterday, where, and again, like Brother Al said, Shantice was really rattling him yesterday. She was really rattling. And here's the funny part. Shantice wasn't even Shantice yesterday.
Right.
Shantice goes off. Most times, give her a second, she's going off in her way. And yesterday, she wasn't even there. And she was rattling the cage. Oh my goodness, she was rattling the cage.
That's why I said she get the peaceable, and like you say, it showed the growth. Because if that was me some years back, Pastor Steph, on some realness, I'd have went on YouTube and found him and tried to find out where he was at. Seriously, I was on that type of stuff some years back. So he lucky the good Lord took his hands and grabbed me.
Well, I admit, I tried to look him up a little bit. I admit it.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised, Ames. I'm not surprised. So wait, where did you look on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna see whatever I can find real quick. I ain't do no depth stuff,
No, I know, because I've done the same thing. We've had people in this room. They've come in this room, and when I tell you, it's a stream. Oh my God! I'm like, what? You really get on? You get up in the morning to do this?
His picture kind of tells you he looks crazy.
Yeah, the picture.
The picture right there, that kind of tells you have the battle right there. His picture, it's like, something ain't right there.
Yeah, it was when because I never looked at the picture initially. I was just looking at the comments.
Right. Now you see the picture, you like, oh.
Yeah, he looked crazy.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when you're doing the right thing, you're gonna be attacked. And quite often we get some nasty stuff in this room, and you just,
that's the enemy.
Right. That's why I said when you're doing what's right, you're gonna get it. So my due time crew, maybe one day. Shanti said I was imitating those demons. So maybe one day, y'all stay on alert. Maybe one day, the next time, if he should get in, I'm going to reach out to each of you. And then you'll have an opportunity to come on. So don't be surprised if, Janti said she was irritating those demons on the other end of that chat room.
Oh yeah, let me know. Exactly, you gotta get a call. I'm like, all right, cool, no bet.
Yes, you'll know when I send out when I hit the bat signal. You'll know.
The due time signal. All right, here we go.
Yeah. He's in the room. Everybody running in the room. He's in the room.
Strap up, fellas. Here we go.
Including you, Pastor Jeff. Can I tell you something? Ainsley just said it. He said, "Oh yeah, well, me and Pastor Jeff." And do you know that's exactly what KL said yesterday? He said the same thing yesterday. He said, "Oh yeah, let him come on tomorrow, because then he'll also have to contend with Pastor Jeff." Because Ainsley was in the conversation yesterday, just from the chat room. He
I'm
was like,
sure
"Oh
that
yeah,
stuff would have pissed me off though.
oh yeah." And no, that's why he said you would have. He would have had to contend with you, because we knew it would piss you off. It pissed off everybody, even Vivian. I was like, she was like top notch. Vivian did a little research while we were on, and she just sat and said nice and calmly, but you could tell it's like everybody was really, I'm gonna keep this together. I'm gonna keep this together. So I'll let you know when I hit the bat line.
Yeah.
He's in, y'all. Thank you so much. Again, thank you not only for your contribution, but thank you, Ainsley, for the extra bit of information
Oh
today.
yeah, we will be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
All
Hey,
will
right.
Pastor
talk
Steph,
things for
I know
y'all.
we get ready
Yes.
to go. Just one quick thing. I just want to let you guys know I got called again to host the SIT Awards again this year.
Okay, well, congratulations. I figured that.
Right.
I
Appreciate
figured
it.
that.
You go, boy.
Congratulations.
When is it going to be?
The 28th of September.
28th or the 26th? I think it's the
26th of September. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
All right. Maybe come be up that way.
At the
All right.
Jamaica Arts Center.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
hosting?
26.
Renee? Am I reading that right? Wow. Renee is hosting
Oh.
Ains.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. I didn't know that.
We're gonna have a good time because she said she might get a third host. She told me that.
Wow.
So we're
You
gonna
and
go
Lil
ahead and have
Nat? Lil Nat is coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be us three.
Okay, nice. Well, Brother Al will be hosting the 10th annual Sitter Awards this year, along with Lil Nat and Renee, and we will be covering it as always, doing the interviews and stuff like that. So looking forward to seeing what 10 years are gonna bring. We're gonna be at the Jamaica Arts Center I think it starts at 7. Starts at 7. Red carpet is open a little earlier than that. Or she calls it a gold carpet. Open up a little earlier than that. So if you want to come by and, see what it's all about, then come on by. We'd love to talk to you. And you get to see Brother Al. You'll get to see Shantice. You'll get to see Viv. You'll get to see Tamika. So you'll get to see, some of your due time crew. So don't miss out. If you're here in the New York City area, again at the Jamaica Arts Center, you all miss Pastor Jeff at the conference. You all miss Ainsley at the conference. So here's another opportunity to get to see some of the due time crew. And she said the gold carpet starts at 6:00. No. Yes, I was right. Gold carpet starts at 6. Show starts at 7. So SITA stands for Success in the Arts, and it's just a homage to all of the unsung heroes and grassroots people who are really doing some big things on this level. And we're saluting them that night. And Mrs. Dara Bragg puts together a really nice event. So come on by. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for sending us
All right.
into a thought-provoking weekend. And we pray you have a blessed weekend.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Take care. Be good.
Thank you. All right. We're going to make this real quick. Again, we talked about Celebrity Day and things like that. And we're back at put your money and everything, write out everything, as Ainsley has instructed several times. Put your stuff in a trust, because that's the safest place for it to be. Too many people are running up against family and how things are not distributed properly after your loved one has passed away. Excuse me. And shame on us for not having these things together. This keeps coming up. So, that's why I did ask the question, facetiously, but did ask the question, how do we, at what point do we put a trust together? Because, some people feel like what I have right now is not valuable enough. And in actuality, it is. Like I said, everybody in this room, with the exception of myself, they have some sort of, assets and things like that, which, getting things in a trust would be the best move so that you protect, what you've, put God and you have put together upon your death. Because once you're dead, that's it. That's it. Bible says all your plans have ceased. All your plans have perished. Ain't no coming back. Ain't no talking to the dead. Ain't sending no messages. Ain't nobody gonna be up in heaven shouting down on earth what's going to happen and all of this kind of stuff. So make sure everything is in order in its proper place now, so that you can oversee what exactly is going on. And, like I said, for years, my mother and I, we talked about it. And finally, when everything was kind of pushed to the side and papers started getting signed in a matter of 5 minutes, it was useless. Because certain things perish once you go. Yeah. Power of attorney, done when you go. Other areas where you sign and get notarized and things like that, when the person is alive, it is null and void once the person is gone. And you would think that so for argument's sake, you signed something on January 1st and the person dies February 1st, you would think logically that, hey, that was the person's dying wish. And they're like, no, certain things perish with the death and you can't make moves. And look at what we just got finished talking about with Biggie's son and his mother, Biggie's mother, where, they said she signed over to this, guy, the estate, and within weeks she was done. But something like that is locked in. So, because we right now on the surface don't know what gets locked in and what kind of gets discarded once someone passes away, then we got to make sure we do our research and make sure we are on point. I don't care how small your assets may be, according to you. My mother used to work at the funeral home. She said, Stephanie, if I could tell you how many times the cops got to show up because they are in there with the directors making funeral arrangements, and all hell is breaking loose, and they got to call the cops to come and settle, arrest people at times, because people, like Al said, people lose their mind over money. People lose their mind over sometimes what you consider very small. And I can't imagine sitting in front of a funeral director planning somebody's funeral. Because if you're sitting at the funeral director's table, then you got to be somebody of importance, somebody close to the deceased. And I can't imagine I'm going there to make arrangements, and now we bust out fighting and the police got to be called. But this is what happens. People lose their minds. So within like a couple of minutes, we've gotten 3 celebrities, and that's only the 3 we've heard about, that are fighting, whether justifiable or not, but are fighting. Because see, we don't know right now. It's the son versus the manager. We've got family on the other 2. We got the wife versus the rest of the family and the mama. We've got the wife versus the mama. There's no telling where this thing will go. So let's take care of things while we're here and we can, so that when we, pass away, things will be made very easy for, our loved ones. Okay? You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit as you go through your day. Be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew, the men, for always coming through and always sending us into a thought-provoking weekend. Thank you for hanging out with us and keeping that chat room alive. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Until Monday, God spares, where we'll be shaking the Monday morning blues all over again. Until then, I love you.